So imagine this. You've got this awesome new AI assistant, right? It's built into your web browser and it's supposed to help you with everything. But what if a website you just visited could secretly take it over and turn it against you? I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi thriller, but this threat is absolutely real and it's happening right now. And that's the big question we're really digging into here. Could the very tool that's meant to make your life easier actually be used to compromise you? We're going to break down exactly how this happens by looking at some real-world vulnerabilities that were just discovered. Okay, let's get into it. So, the whole trick behind this new kind of threat has a name. It's called prompt injection. And this isn't your classic computer virus or some piece of malware you download. Nope, it's way more clever. It's all about tricking the AI itself by messing with the information it sees. Okay, so what is prompt injection, really? Well, think of your AI like a super eager personal assistant. You give it instructions and it just wants to help. Here's the catch, though. For a large language model, there isn't really a difference between your instructions and the data it's reading from a website. It's all just text. Prompt injection totally exploits this. It's like a con artist slipping a secret, malicious note into a stack of papers you gave your assistant. Your assistant just sees another instruction and, without questioning it, follows the bad advice. And listen, this isn't just some theoretical what-if scenario. Just look at this timeline. These are real vulnerabilities found in real AI browsers, and it all happened very, very recently. This crazy fast timeline from discovery to public disclosure just goes to show you how new and serious this whole field of security research is. So let's dive into these two cases, starting with an attack that uses nothing more than a simple screenshot. All right, first up, we've got a browser called Perplexity Comet. Now, it has this really neat feature that lets you take a screenshot of any web page and ask your AI questions about what's on the screen. Super helpful, right? Well, researchers found a way to turn this handy little tool into a seriously powerful weapon. Let me walk you through exactly how this works. Step one is the setup. An attacker gets clever and hides malicious instructions on their web page using text that's so faint it's pretty much invisible to you. Then comes the trigger. You, just trying to be productive, take a screenshot to ask your AI a question. That leads to the injection. The browser's text reading tool picks up that invisible text you couldn't see and feeds it directly to the AI. And finally, the exploit. The AI has no idea this wasn't from you, so it just executes the attacker's hidden commands using all of your permissions. Okay, now for our second case file, this one involves a different AI browser called Feller. The method is a little different, but as you're about to see, the core problem is exactly the same. The AI simply can't tell the difference between what you want and what a website wants. And get this attack is even simpler. For the setup, an attacker just writes their malicious commands in plain sight on their website. The trigger? All you have to do is ask your AI assistant, hey, go to this website. That's it. That kicks off the injection, where the browser sends all the website's content, including those bad commands, to the AI. Then comes the exploit. The AI gets confused and might follow the website's instruction to, say, forge your last 10 emails, instead of just showing you the page you asked for. So these specific attacks are pretty wild, right? But what do they really mean for the internet as a whole? Well, it turns out the impact is huge. These attacks are challenging a core rule that has basically kept us all safe online for decades. You see, for years and years, web security has been built on something called the same origin policy. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital wall between every website you visit. It's the reason some random blog can't just reach over and read what's in your open online banking tab. It keeps every site in its own little box. But AI agents change everything. Because they act with your permission, they can basically punch a hole right through that wall. An instruction hidden on one website can tell your AI to go do something on a completely different website, and that other site will just think it's you. This quote from the security researchers really just nails it. They say long-standing web security assumptions break when AI agents act on behalf of users. All of a sudden, the walls we've relied on just crumble. A malicious website could trick your AI into reading your private emails or accessing your corporate documents. The potential for damage here is just massive. So if you boil it all down, the critical issue is this. Both attacks we looked at happened because of the same fundamental mistake. The AI browsers didn't create a strong, clear line between the commands you give them and the untrusted stuff they read from the web. And when those two things get all mixed together, well, that's when things go wrong. Okay, so the problem is obviously a big one, but it's not hopeless. The good news is that security experts are already mapping out how to make these incredibly powerful new tools safer for everyone. So let's talk about how we can build a stronger defense.
Really, it all comes down to being cautious and staying in control. First, we need to treat any AI that can actually do things, what experts call agentic AI, as kind of risky for the time being. Second, it's a good idea to keep it separate from your normal web browsing, maybe in its own browser profile, so it's not logged into all your important accounts. And finally, and this is a big one, the AI should never be allowed to take a major action, like sending an email or changing a file, without you explicitly clicking a button that says, yes, do that. It's all about keeping you in the driver's seat.
All of this leads to a much bigger conversation, one that's almost philosophical, about what our future with these technologies is going to look like. As AI gets woven into every part of our digital lives, it's forcing us to completely rethink what it even means to trust the tools we use every single day. And that really leaves us with this one final question to chew on. We all want the amazing power of an AI copilot to help us navigate the internet. But the real challenge for both the people building these tools and for all of us using them is to make sure that we, the humans, are always the ones flying the plane. The answer to that question is going to define the next chapter of the internet.